Okay, MOGTV speaking on giving clarification, transparency with the Dr. Fauci situation, aka Dr. Jekyll, Dr. Hyde situation. People, you got to understand that this type of thing that's going on, this horrible documentation of Dr. Fauci doing horrible experiments to monkeys, to giving monkeys cocaine, putting them on drugs before they put the drugs on the street. They testing these drugs out, the opioids, the pills, the Xannies, the bars, the Percocets. They test those drugs out. MDMA, which is the actual clinical name for ecstasy, ecstasy was prescribed by your doctor back in the 60s and 70s and 80s. They took it off the market, and somehow this clinical governmental approved drug made its way into the hands of young teenagers in the early 2000s. And it was killing people on the dance floor all over the country. They not only test these drugs out on animals, these are not the only experiments. The horrible news is coming out on Dr. Fauci when he is funding and doing experiments on beagle dogs by putting horrible diseases on the dogs, watching the dogs suffer and die. Then hear the dogs was screaming so much and barking so much from agony and pain. They took the dog's vocal cords out so they could holler and scream as much as they want. And the scientists said that this was bothering them it was interrupting the flow of the conductive experiment. So they took the dog's vocal cords out. But remember what they did to Michael Vick. Remember what they did to that black man when he only had dogs fights at his house that he really wasn't participating in. Michael Vick, it was known that he was in training camp, playing football, other cities, other states. But they locked him up immediately for dog fighting. Not for doing horrible, degenerate, inhumane experiments on the dog. No, for having dog fights. Allowing dog fights and bedding to be done at his house. Okay. Dr. Fauci is not the only one. And this news has come out on Dr. Fauci in the taxpayers of American dollars, which America, what they do per day, they take the taxpayer money every time you buy a bag of chips. If you're here in America, you're paying taxes one way or another, because they'll give you a price, and inside that price, $19 to $20 or 18 to 20%, 18 to 20 cents is included in whatever you purchase for the taxes. So they take in about $5 to $10 trillion a year just from taxpayers. So they've been spending $100 million, $200 million in these horrible Nazi Germany type experiments. Go back and study paperclip operation, where the horrible people that was in Hitler's regime, that was fleeing from persecution for what they did to the Jews, they was given asylum to come over here in America and have top official jobs. So the same people that you're looking at that's running your government here in America are the same exact people with the same face of the same horrible people that was in Hitler's and Nazi Germany regime that terrorized Europe, that terrorized the world, that terrorized and did the Holocaust to the Jews. These same people have been here in your government, influencing your government, being funded by your government for the last 50 years. So the thing that come out on Dr. Fauci, the reason why he had the guts and the galls to do this is because he was a person that's known it has been done 50 to 60 to 80 years before he got in office. He knew about Operation Paperclip. So he knew he had confidence that he can get away with it. But whenever information comes out on you, it don't come out. What happened is the powers, the PTB, the Illuminated Edomites, the Illuminati Edomites, they're done with you. Or they'll use you from the beginning as the fall guy if this get out. So Fauci knew, or he didn't know, that he was the fall guy if this got out. But he was a person that they would use to get this to get this evil act experiments done from point A to point B. And they created I ain't gonna say the word, the C word, the Rona, but they created this inside of a laboratory, not in Wuhan, China. That was one of the laboratories, but right here in America, it was created. Right here in America. So Fauci is under fire when he said we didn't fund the one in America. Did the paperwork come out from people at the CDC? They said, hey, he did know. And we did give him all our research. And he did fund the experiments for the bat virus over in Wuhan, China. He did fund gain of function. Then he come back and say, well, I wasn't privy, or I didn't know everything that they was doing in the test, in the testing in these experiments. I wasn't aware of it. But wait, you just said you didn't know at all. Wait, you just said you all didn't fund it, period. Got caught in several lies. He's under heavy fire. Because either he has upset the Illuminati Edomites, or he was purposely set up to be the fall guy from the jump, from the beginning. Now, going all the way back to Sigmund Freud, who a lot of these people are known as the father of psychology. Sigmund Freud was a person that was in the laboratory, high on drugs, high on cocaine, every day. Every day. This is reports of this man. And this is the person who created all of your mental diseases diagnosis. They'll diagnose you with this mental disease. They'll diagnose you with this mental disease. Or they'll diagnose you with this method of treating cancer. They'll diagnose you with this type of cancer. This person is the person responsible. He's one of the people responsible. While everybody in America is dying from cancer. No one dies from natural diseases anymore. You don't just get cancer. No, you have to have a carcinogenic agent that's secretly placed inside your food. High fructose corn syrup, one of them. MSG, monosodium glutamate. Then the colors, yellow 5, yellow 6, blue 33, red 40. Just go on any package that you buy, go to ingredients, and it will show you all the carcinogenic agents that the government placed inside of your food. And they call them preservatives. It's going to preserve the food, but it's going to destroy you and I. Why do you have over 30 different chemicals inside of tap water that you drink at home and that you bathe yourself? There's over 30 different poisonous cancer-causing agents inside of your drinking water that you have to pay tax dollars on for sewage and water and garbage. You're paying them to kill you. The food, you buy your food is already too high inflation. They place chemicals inside of your food. And you pay taxes on your food. something may cost, hey, $10, you got to pay an extra tax of two, maybe $3 now, dealing with inflation. You just paid taxes, giving them more incentive and more power to continue to kill you, which they are already doing when you buy your food in the grocery stores. You have the degeneration of fruits and vegetables, high commodity vegetables that are used like soy. They take the soy, which is very, very healthy, and they GMO the soy, genetically modify the organism, to where now you had naturally fresh soy. Once they get inside their laboratory, remember, laboratory or laboratory, once they get inside their laboratory, once it comes back out to the general public, it is now cancer-causing agent. It's carcinogenic. Your fruits supposed to have seeds. How can they sell you fruits in the store that don't have seed? How did you grow it? They didn't grow it. They take a natural fruit with seeds and they take it inside the laboratory or laboratory. And once it comes out, back out of the lab, the laboratory, it don't have seeds. And it's in your grocery stores, getting ready for you to purchase it and go and give it to your children. How do you grow a fruit or a vegetable if it doesn't have seeds? Another reason why your fruits don't have seeds. They know that America is coming to the Americans are coming to a standstill with government, with the abuse that they have done to the natural farmers. So people are doing more planting at home in their backyard. 1 is saving them money. 2 is keeping them alive. And 3, guess what? They know that it's all natural and healthy food. So more people are secretly investing into natural farmers. Then more people also are getting into growing their own fruits, their own vegetables, their own tomatoes, their own onions. These type of plants can be grown inside of your home while simultaneously keeping the oxygen level inside of your home purified and clean and making you more healthy. People are taking small amounts of yard space, creating gardens. So now they say, you know what? And this has been going on for 10 years. They say, you know what? Make sure they can't grow oranges no more. Take the seeds out of the oranges. They can't grow apples no more. Take the seeds out of the apples. Don't you know bananas supposed to have seeds? Take the seeds out of the bananas. You don't find seeds in bananas. That yellow banana is a newly created genetic hybrid. Start understanding the Pew lookup, that little sticker that is on your fruits. Start studying if it's a 4, it's a 9, or if it's an 8. When you pick your fruit up, there's a little sticker on it, and it has even 4 or 5 digits on it. If the digits begin with a 4, if it begins with a 9, or if it begins with a 8. If you go into the grocery store and you see that your fruit has a sticker on it, this is how you determine whether or not to buy that fruit or not. If it has an 8, if on the sticker it's called PLU, price lookup code. This price lookup code, if you see 4 or 5 digits, numbers on the little small stickers on all your fruits and vegetables. If it has an 8, that's GMO, genetically modified organism. That's what that means. And what that means is run, don't touch that fruit. Your body can be damaged by touching that fruit. That's how poisonous and disruptive, because what they do with a genetically modified organism, they can take that something that's natural and they can take it into the lab, into the laboratories, and they can tank that fruit to where it causes sickness, diseases, and illnesses just by sitting in the air. So when you go into the grocery store and you see an 8 on the sticker on your fruit or your vegetables, get away from it. Genetically modified organisms are foods. They can take a cow, a regular cow, butcher the cow, and take the meat from that cow, take it in the lab, and you have one steak. They can take cells out of that steak, genetically modifying this organism. They can take the cells out of that cow. This is one steak, and they can make 200 steaks out of one steak. This is done in the laboratory. This is done. And what happens is, once you eat this genetically modified food, you begin to die because your body knows that it's not natural. Your body is only designed to eat natural foods. Your body is a natural specimen. It's a natural organism, living, breathing thing itself. It only can recognize. It only knows natural, that which comes from which it came from, which is the earth. The body uses minerals and water and things that come from the earth. Now, the stuff that man just recently made in the laboratory, your body will not be able to digest it, which is going to cause an interaction and a disturbance in your neurological system, in your immunity system, and in your digestive system. Because your body just spends so much energy processing and digesting and ingesting this food just to find out there's no minerals in it and this is not natural. There's no vitamins in genetically modified organisms. What it does, your liver can take from the genetic modified organism and can use it your liver can create certain vegetables and certain vitamins and certain minerals. When you're starving, your liver can create whatever vitamin minerals you need, but your liver still got to detox all the poison out. So that's not going to work very long. That's why so many people are obese. Once you eat a whole 2 or 3 pounds of meat, you go and sit down, if it's a genetically modified organism, within 30 minutes, you're going to be hungry again. This is insane, right? This is the rise of the cause of obesity. That's what's going on. That's why it's not that, the argument with vegetarians and vegans. They're not saying that meat is bad for you because it's written in the Holy Scrolls in the Bible, the dietary laws in Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy chapter 14. It's which meats are good, but there are certain meats that are not wise to consume. It's understood if you're in a starving, life and death situation, okay? Do anything to try to stay alive. That's the key to God's law. But if you knew better and you can do better, you're supposed to do it. So the vegan's argument is not that meat is bad, is that they are easily and readily doing this with bad meats. The pig is one of the meats that can be healthy for you, because back in the 1800s and 1700s, the slaves survived. They used to live 80, 90 years, 100 and 120 years on average eating swine. You got grandparents, great-grandparents, 80, 90 years that they used to chop cotton, they used to be in the slave, fields. And your great-grandma is 80 and 90 years old and she ate pork her whole life. So understand the difference. Now, the Lord said we're not supposed to eat swine. We're not supposed to eat catfish. We're not supposed to eat the cockroach of the sea, which is shrimp and lobster. Those are cousins, brothers and sisters to cockroaches. So when you eat shrimp and lobster, you're eating a cockroach of the sea. Hey, it's your body. Do what you want to do. But first, do the research. Now, the pig is one animal that they use that can live with over 3 100,000 different diseases inside of it. And that pig can still be alive. The pig can be bitten by a viper, by poisonous snakes, by water moccas. And that snake can bite him and inject venom in him over and over again. And that pig can sit there and continue to eat him and will not die. That's how immune to toxic and carcinogenic agents that the pig can live with. That's why God made them as natural garbage filters. They eat all the waste of the land. The shrimp, it keeps the ocean, and lobster, it keeps the ocean clean. By all the other animals at the top that's digesting their food and defecating in the water, everything falls to the bottom. And they're bottom feeders. They eat all of the waste that comes from all the other animals. And then you come in and eat the lobster and the shrimp and the crab and the crawfish. You eat these animals not knowing that God, the Most High, made these animals to eat all the poison and waste off the earth so the earth can stay in clean balance. Now, back to Dr. Fauci. This is not the first time that this has been done. He's not the only person that's been doing things like this. But it's come out, and he's just the fall guy. But once they dig into the fact that the United States government was responsible for making the bat virus and killing over 4 million people, now other scientists and other doctors that's funding these other 300 to 2,000 other researchers that's going on right now, and it's been going on for the past 50 years using taxpayers' dollars, they have to be prosecuted too. Not only Dr. Fauci, because he's done this because he knows there's other 200 research to 2,000 research that are being done that's experiments on how can we kill the American people. How can we kill them without them knowing it? Because they have to do these things to where if you wake up in the morning, just on your street alone, 55 people done died in the morning, that's too alarming. The people gonna raise up in uproar because remember, only 5 to 10% of the illuminated Edomites and their constituents are on the planet. You still got to deal with 90%, 80%. The rest of the people of the world is too great of a number. They could just storm the Capitol building and just take over and do whatever they want to do, and no military will be able to stop the human citizen population that's normal, good, righteous people. The military won't be able to stop them. But what you have to do, you have to keep keeping them in the dark. You have to keep lying to them because 80% of the human population are righteous, good people. So they will allow you to sit on the benefit of the doubt. But once they wake up, it's like waking up. That's the sleeping giant. So give me y'all thoughts on what you think should be done to Dr. Fauci. And if they prosecute him, which he should be prosecuted, he should be dealt with, he should be disciplined, and he should never work anywhere in any area of medicine dealing with the American people. What you think should be done to him? And also, should all of the researchers should be halted and stopped and properly investigated before any of the American taxpayer dollars go into funding anything. They can give about $300 million to this research, $200 million to this research. Remember, in Biden's infrastructure plan, they have that he's donating, I think, $200 to $300 million to study fish in the desert. Another $200 million to study how plants grow. This is in the new $2 to $3 trillion infrastructure bill. But they can't give unemployment. But they can't put extra money inside of the government inside of the people's pockets that's here in America that's suffering from a disease that they created and that they put into the world, basically. And now, once you follow the paper trail will always lead right back to the money. And the money is going to tell you who actually is the arbitrator, who actually is the criminal. And that criminal is the U.S. government. And they're going to make Fauci the fall guy. But all of you, Ryan Paul is the hero, not just because he put everything out on Fauci. Ryan Paul is the one who had the notes that all the other 500 senators and Democrats and congressmen, all of them had these same notes on Fauci. They've had these notes for 5-10 years. Ryan Paul was the only one that picked his notes up that all of them had and said, hey, let me read to you what's going on. So it's so much hypocrisy, it's so much evil conspiracy going on inside of the White House, inside of the government. But now God is just causing it to be brought out. And there is no trust in the government to take a vaccine, on what they're doing with taxpayers' money, on what they're doing about high gas prices and high inflation. There is 0% trust. Just like just like President Biden. His ratings has been dropping 10% every week. Trust me, this man is at a rating of 2%, but the media is going to, they're the one telling the story. So they're going to say, well, his ratings is 40 to 30 and it's dropping to 30%. No, this man's ratings is less than a negative 2%. There's no one on this planet except Biden's hidden constituents and his crime partners, okay, that are with him. Those are the only people that's still keeping a positive poll rating for Biden. And if you all want to know what happened with the bat virus, aka Rona, Biden took the shot. He took the jab, right? Go and watch the town hall meeting that took place October, October, I think the 20th, the week of the 20th or October 2021. Biden had a defect that happened to him from the jab. This man took the jab. It was broadcast nationwide, and they showed him taking the jab. Now you see him on CNN's town halls meeting interview with Joe Biden. He stood there for several minutes, 2 to 5, maybe 10 minutes, because you know they edit everything. He probably stood there 30 minutes with his hands in a clench, raised up, not from his side, but raised up, waist to chest high, sitting there like he was holding a poster, but he just could not push his hands down. And the American public seen this happen, this malfunction in this man's nervous system happen, like he was a robot. Just go Google it. Just go look up Biden's hands frozen in CNN town hall meeting. And you can see the expression on his face. He's being broadcast on national television. He can't believe this is going on. He's confused about what's going on. And he's trying to force his hands, his arms, to go back down by his side. When he raised his hands up and he had a ball fist making a statement, getting ready to make a statement, his hands froze and stayed in that position, and he had a neurological defect. And guess what? He took the jab. And they showed that it's not the first time that he's had an issue with his motor functioning skills. Let me know. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you all think, because we have to really, really stand up in a time when it's time to stand up for our children, for the American people, for our children and the elders, because the elders are in the same situation as the children. It's the ones who on the front line job and responsibility to take care of those who took care of us in the past and take care of those who are going to take care of us in the future. That's only true royal divinity. So join the platform, like and subscribe, and become a member in this fight with us over here at MOG Men of God. You know what I'm saying? Our platform, and join the fight with us. Peace.